Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. URL and Aetna are here for the Continue Selling Medicare Outside the AEP with Senior Ancillary. We have some great information for you today, so feel free to download the handouts at the bottom of your screen. I attached, I think, 4 of the most popular ancillary products there for you that we'll be going over today, as well as our Orion compensation flyer. So take a look at that when you have the opportunity. For those of you that don't know me, I am Christy Wilbert, the Director of Medicare Marketing with URL Insurance Group. And here is the rest of our team. Karen McDaniel, she's the Director of Operations and Compliance. And Janine Raycup and Alyssa Balcom are your Agent Support Specialists. And Lindsay Litton is a new member of our team. She's our Enrollment Specialist. She helps out with our Orion platform, which is one of our new platforms. I'd love to go over just the basics of this with you today. It is a platform that is designed to help you expand your insurance services, strengthen your client relationships, increase retention, and avoid losing your clients to another agent. So let's just say that you're a Medicare agent and you come across an annuity opportunity, but you don't specialize in that market and you don't want to refer the client to your competition. Of course, it's important to you to service that client, and that's where the Orion platform can help. So upon your request, URL will make the sale as your partner and split the compensation. So we want you to feel like a true partner when you're with URL. If we have the ability to sell it, so do you. We have a few other new tools on our website that many of you aren't taking advantage of, so I just wanted to show you really quickly. On our Medicare section, we have what's called our Medicare tools, and our agent support staff is doing a really great job at creating new shortcuts and new quick reference guides all the time. Out here you have the Medicare benefits reference. That's for the Medigap policies that carry your vision discounts or your gym memberships. Your Medigap household discount reference guide. You know, each carrier is different. Some just provide the discount when you have an 18 or older member in your household. This is a new item, our provider search directory. This is giving you all the provider searches in one place, just so you don't have to go on each individual product page. If you have any ideas on other quick reference guides, please feel free to share your ideas. You know, one of our biggest mottos is we want you to be as efficient as possible. So you're out there selling. We want to do all the back-end support we can for you, and again, make you as efficient as possible. So thank you so much again today. Before I introduce our guest speaker, I do want to take a quick poll to see which one of you out there are already selling ancillary products. You know, our assumption is that most of you are not, but we would like to know for sure. We do believe there's great opportunity, especially in the hospital indemnity plans. January and February are a great time of year to follow up with your 0 to low premium Medicare Advantage clients and offer this plan that picks up their co-payments and extended services. So, you know, here's David Friedman, Regional Sales Manager with Aetna Senior Supplemental Insurance, and David's going to switch over. You're going to have control of the screen here in a second. And everyone, please be sure, feel free to ask any questions you want in the questions section, and we'll answer them at the end, or I'll answer them as we go in the space provided there for you. So David, I can see your screen, so you're ready to go.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Christy. Good morning, everyone. As Christy indicated, my name is David Friedman. I'm a Regional Sales Manager for Aetna Senior Supplemental Insurance, and I am very, very glad to be speaking with you today, and I thank Christy as well as URL for giving me this opportunity. We've got a lot of things to discuss this morning, so I'm going to keep the program moving as quickly as I can, so bear with me. We're going to be discussing Aetna's senior market portfolio of products. And any of us who've been in the senior market for any length of time really have come to realize, and we certainly have at SSI, that in the senior marketplace, the two most fearful and expensive events in any senior's life are hospitalization and recovery. And our suite of products are designed to help your clients deal with those two events. They help them pay for those expensive procedures. They keep your clients independent as much as that's possible, and thereby providing your clients with a better quality of life. And remember one thing, if you come away with any thought to keep with you after we finish, Medicare does not pay for everything. We all know how many seniors think that no matter what health event may occur in their lives, oh, I have Medicare that's going to cover that. Well, that's not the case. And in fact, more and more monies are being taken away each year from Medicare to prop up other programs, thereby creating more of a burden on your clients. And that's what we're here to deal with. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of who we are. And believe me, it's not going to take very long. I'm also going to talk about our flagship product, really mentioning a couple of salient points, and that's Medicare Supplement. And we've been in business at Aetna SSI for over 32 years. We're headquartered in Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb right outside of Nashville. And that next paragraph there really sums up everything that I do and all of my associates do at Aetna SSI. We want to help you grow your business. I go around the country and speak at different groups, different producer groups, downstream producers individually, MGAs, RGAs, and continually I hear feedback that your company provides the best engagement and access for our producers of any of the other companies that we deal with. And we work very, very hard at that, to the point where if you're at point of sale on selling any of our products, you have the ability to call us directly and if necessary, speak with an underwriter. If you run into a health question that you're not certain how the client should answer that, if there's some ambiguity, call us. We can help you right there at point of sale. I really don't know of any other carrier that provides that. We have a proven track record of business persistency, competitive rates. We are continually reviewing and offering different tranches of policies throughout the country to stay as competitive as we possibly can. And we also offer top commissions to our brokers and producers. We offer a complete market portfolio with strong cross-selling opportunities. That's really what we're going to talk about in substance today. And that's supported by our dedicated agent services team, an award-winning team that you have access to all the time, either online or by the telephone. We have over 30,000 licensed agents nationwide selling our product. And again, you are our audience. We do not exist without working with you. And we thank you for your business, and we thank you for that relationship. Part of dealing with any carrier is brand recognition. And I would advance that most anyone in the marketplace has certainly heard of, if not had, some form of coverage from Aetna throughout their lifetime. We continue to have top financial ratings. We are rated A Excellent by AM Best, which is generally regarded as the most authoritative insurance rating and information source. We're a recognized leader in health insurance, and rather than go over each one of those bubbles, let me just say that in each of these business segments, whether it's our Medicare, our dental, standalone dental, our pharmacy, and under age 65 medical plans, we have millions and millions of medical, Medicare, pharmacy, and dental members. Okay, our product portfolio is basically what you see on your screen. Our flagship is Medicare Supplement, and we'll go over the choices there. And I want to bring to your attention a couple of promotions that we're doing almost immediately on MedSup. Cancer, heart attack, or stroke, which is our #1 selling complementary product. We'll talk briefly about final expense. We'll talk about Home Care Plus, hospital indemnity. We're not going to talk about the hospital indemnity plan, but today I'm going to introduce the Hospital Indemnity Flex, which is our new iteration of hospital indemnity, which gives your clients much more flexibility in choice of benefits and how they use those benefits. And finally, with recovery care. And then I'm going to talk at the end about a promotion that we're running throughout this entire year. And then we're going to talk about some prospecting ideas, kick around some prospecting ideas. Just know that as we go through these complementary or ancillary products, I will be adding in some hows and whys and wherefores as to how you can utilize these products in the field every single day. Okay, I'm sure if you probably can't read that at all, I have that in there just to state to you that not all of our products are approved in every jurisdiction throughout the United States. I urge you to go onto our website, and if you haven't been on our website, please do so. You can set up your own account with us and look at your business and track your progress and where your business is coming from throughout the year. But one of the links will give you this product availability chart so that you can be certain that in the jurisdictions in which you do business, you have our products to sell. Okay, let's just quickly look at MedSup before I get into any detail. You know, it's really MedSup is designed to help pay some of the health costs that original Medicare, which we all know are parts A and B of Medicare, doesn't cover. And just from a mechanical working standpoint, Medicare will pay first before any Medicare supplement will pay its share. So when you hear a client say, well, if Medicare won't cover this, my MedSup policy will. That's not correct. Their original Medicare must pay for the claim before any MedSup will pay for the claim. And of course, in order for someone to enroll in a plan, they must have both parts A and B of Medicare. Okay, why would Medicare supplement be a choice? You know, and believe me, those of you who specialize predominantly in Medicare Advantage, I came to Aetna SSI with a heavy background in MA. I sold MA. I was a manager for Aetna in MA, so I know MA plans very well, and I know that they have a place in someone's portfolio depending upon their particular needs and requirements. But why MedSup? Because MedSup also has a place in someone's insurance protection. Well, there are a choice of plans to meet each individual's needs. And one of the unique things about Medicare Supplement is that any licensed doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare payments is authorized to accept that Medicare card. And if you have a MedSup, you will have your claims paid. You don't have to go into your pocket depending upon the type of plan that you select. Also, there are no network constraints. Any of you who sold MA plans know that there may be some areas where your insured does not have any coverage or has limited coverage. There are no such constraints in a MedSup plan. Plans are portable. Policyholders don't have to worry about losing their coverage should they locate. Unlike Advantage plans, you can sell a MedSup plan 12 months out of the year as long as the applicant is eligible. Okay. Also, depending upon your plan choice, your client will have emergency coverage outside of the United States. And again, from a mechanical standpoint, all the patient has to do is submit both their original Medicare cards and their Medicare supplement cards, and they don't have to submit any paper claims. Their claims will be paid automatically, first from original Medicare, and then the remainder from the Medicare supplement plan. Okay, we encourage all of our producers to use electronic fund transfer in selling their MedSup, primarily because it's ease of mechanism and it creates better business persistency. Okay, I would like you to focus on plans G and N, if you would. Plan G is a program that offers every single benefit that Plan F offers. And again, I'm assuming that most, if not all of you out there have at least a brief background in MedSup. Plan G will cover every benefit that Plan F has except one. And you'll notice at the bottom of that chart, the Part B deductible, which this year is $183. However, the real buy is that typically, and I have never seen it when it isn't this way, if you take the annual premium for a Plan G and compare it to a Plan F, it will be considerably lower than what that $183 Part B benefit is. By that I mean is your client, even though they're paying the $183 deductible out of their pocket, will still save by taking Plan G because of the premium differential. Okay? I also want you to look at Plan N. And I'm mentioning Plan N for a specific purpose now. Aetna SSI is promoting what's called a rate slope. We're changing the rate slope on Plan N's at different intervals throughout the country. And I will double check. I mentioned to Christy before we started, I believe Pennsylvania is one of those states. In fact, it's one of the first states. And Pennsylvania, I believe, starts on or about the 1st of February. I urge you to look at the emails that we send out broadcasting these notices. Plan N is a very, very economical way for your client to get Medicare coverage. Very economical. I ask you to take a look at that, review it on our website. I'm not going to take the time right now to review it. One of the objections you may find in promoting Plan N is that, it doesn't cover, Plan N doesn't cover the excess charges. But every hospital that I've ever seen accepts Medicare payments, and many, if not most, doctors do as well. So the excess charges element will be minimized on a Plan N generally. And again, if you do run into an obstacle, then you have other choices to sell. But Plan N's will be very, very competitive at age 65, again, because we are changing that rate slope. So look out for that. We're also, in addition to changing the rate slope, we're increasing the comp by 5%. And again, I believe Pennsylvania will fall into those group of states beginning on the 1st of February. And we'll be looking at additional states thereafter. Okay, last thing is as soon as I can get this thing to work. Okay, so I'm not getting the slides to move.
Maybe try closing it and opening it back up.
I'm always afraid if I close it, I'll never get it back up again. Stand by, I gotta. Okay, the thing seems to have frozen. It's not letting me do anything now. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Here we go. Here we go. I got it. I got it. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. Okay, I just want to talk about the household discount because I believe that we distinguish ourselves from all other carriers on the household discount. Most med-sup carriers will offer a household discount. For us, the people either have to be married or they can be domestic partners, and that means a civil union or merely a partnership. Or they can have resided at the same residence for 12 continuous months or greater. That will make them eligible for this discount. Obviously, both applicants, if you're applying for the discount at the same time, have to qualify for Medicare. Okay, and both apps must result in an issue med-sup policy, but they don't have to apply at the same time. So for example, if you're meeting with one person who's applying for a med-sup and their spouse or their partner or the person who resides with them is not eligible for Medicare, once that second individual is eligible, you can go back, write this particular policy, and once it's approved, the discount will apply to both of the policies that you've written. Okay? For applicants who apply separately, the second applicant must include the existing policyholder's coverage information, typically a policy number. Okay? That's a unique feature. And finally, each policy will receive the discount. That discount will apply to the total premium. And here's the differential: for the life of the policy. Should one of those policy owners die, or if a couple becomes divorced, or that partnership is severed, the remaining policyholder will continue to receive that discount. And I know, again, from my interviews with brokers around the country and my experience, that most of the companies will make a call and say, we're very, very sorry that so-and-so passed away, but we have to increase your premium because you no longer qualify for the household discount. We do not do that. That's a real differentiator. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to go on to cancer, heart attack, and stroke. This is our #1 seller in all of our portfolio of ancillary products. Cancer, heart attack, or stroke. You can ask anybody if they know or if they've come in contact at any time during their life, and most everybody will, with cancer, most everybody will say yes. I know I've said yes. Everybody I know when I've asked that question has said yes. The risks are real. It's the second most common cause of death. Heart attack is the #1 cause of death for both men and women in the United States. And stroke is the 3rd leading cause of death in women and the 5th leading in men, and among the top 10 in children, which shocked me when I heard that. I've never come into contact with a child getting a stroke, but it can happen. It can happen. The United States is predicted to spend at least $158 billion in the year 2020 to treat cancer. And this is an increase of some 27% since 2010. 1 in 5 people diagnosed with cancer who have health insurance, pardon me, use all or most of their savings because of the financial strain of dealing with cancer. And it's not only the medical costs, which we call direct costs, it's the indirect costs. And studies have shown that those indirect costs of cancer make up some 61% of the total amount spent, whereas only 39% are direct medical costs. So some examples. What are some examples of indirect costs associated with cancer? Deductibles and co-payments on existing insurance coverage, experimental treatments, transportation to treatments, lodging, family care when you have a family caregiver, coping support, medical supplies if necessary, and loss of income of not only the patients, but the caregivers as well. So we want to give your clients a choice of how they get their care for cancer, for heart attack, or stroke. Now, in our cancer plan, once the cancer is medically diagnosed, they don't need any hospitalization or any treatment. Once it's diagnosed, the full lump sum benefit is paid directly to your client or someone that client designates to use in any way they choose, regardless of any other insurance coverage they may have, including Medicare. And as we'll see in a moment, they have a choice of $5,000 up to $75,000 in increments of $5,000 to choose from. In cancer, heart attack, and stroke, along with the lump sum benefit that they receive, that they have for the cancer coverage, with the medical diagnosis of a heart attack or the medical diagnosis of a stroke, the full lump sum benefit is paid directly or to someone your client designates to use in any way they choose. Again, this is regardless of any other health coverage, including Medicare, that they may have. They have the ability to get an intensive care unit rider, and this rider pays a benefit of $150 a day for confinement in a hospital intensive care unit, whether it's as a result of an accident or an illness. And this benefit is available in $150 increments up to a maximum of 4 increments. So as an example, if they have 4 increments times $150, they have a $600 daily benefit in the ICU. Okay? Now, for all of you MA folks out there, when you see this $600 daily benefit, you've got to think about the per day co-pays in a hospital that your client has to pay for each of their MA plans. Think about that. Also, for the cancer insurance and the heart attack and stroke, as well as the ICU benefit, there are going to be other costs involved that the Medicare Advantage plan does not cover. What you're doing in recommending and selling these ancillary products to your clients is you're making your client's existing health coverage more comprehensive. I'm going to say that one more time. You're making your client's health coverage more comprehensive. And when you call up and ask for an appointment to review their situation as their trusted advisor, that's what you should say. I want to make sure that your healthcare coverage is as comprehensive as we can make it. So when can you fit me into your calendar for an hour or an hour and a half? Okay. The issue ages for cancer and heart attack or stroke are as low as age 18 and as high as age 89. So when you see 18, you're looking at pre-age 65 health coverage. Don't limit this purely to your Medicare clients. This can be sold to under age 65 as low as age 18 and as high as age 89. So just because a client may be in their late 60s, 70s, or even early 80s doesn't mean that they cannot qualify for this product. Again, as we just said, the lump sum benefit is paid directly to the policyholder or to someone they designate Benefit ranges are $5,000 to $75,000. We talked about the ICU rider that's available, and they have coverage options. They can apply for the coverage on themselves, on an individual and spouse or domestic partner, or an individual and children, or family coverage. And each and every level of benefit that they choose is the same for everyone in their family or every spouse or domestic partner. Okay? Just because one insured uses a benefit doesn't mean that the others are not going to have the same benefit to use. And again, that same lump sum benefit amount is for each covered person. And, you know, we talked about all of those incidental costs. That's what these policies are designed to help pay for. Offset those out-of-pocket expenses. Give them peace of mind. This is the intensive care that I just spoke about. It's $150 per day. It's available in $150 increments up to $600 a day. You can use this if your client goes into intensive care as a way of helping to pay those daily hospital copays on your MA plan. And there's a maximum of 30 days per hospital intensive care stay. Once your client reaches age 65, whichever benefit that they've used is going to be reduced. And when the policy terminates, any riders are going to terminate. Okay. Again, let me re-emphasize that statement. We're making your health plans, whether it's MA, whether it's MedSup, and whether it's PDP, more comprehensive. More comprehensive. You know, for PDP, there's no limit, right? No maximum limit on your PDP coverage, but cancer drugs, typically if they're covered in your PDP plan's formulary, there's a 20% coinsurance amount. That can be very, very expensive. They can use the CHAS, or cancer, heart attack, and stroke benefits, to help offset those costs. Or worse yet, what if a drug that your client needs to take is not even covered on your plan's formulary? That'll make their costs even greater. Use this coverage as a buffer to help offset those costs. Okay, I'm going to look at final expense now. We're just going to use a quick analysis of final expense. I never used to sell this because I used to be in the life insurance business, and I felt that this was just a very small incidental way of taking care of a large expense, but it really isn't, because large expenses are typically covered by large policies, and an expense like the costs associated with end of life may very well be overlooked and not enough money provided in the basic life insurance plan. This is a great way of supplementing that. Another use of this is you may have clients who cannot afford much life insurance or cannot qualify for those larger insurance plans. This is a great alternative for them. Looking at the need, the average funeral cost is $10,000. You can take a look at your screen and see those individual costs there. Social Security has been paying $255 as a death benefit, I think, since Moses wore short pants, forever. It's never gone up. And there are additional expenses that may occur. Out-of-pocket medical expenses for hospice or for skilled nursing care, estate probate. And regardless of the size of an estate, every state has to go through probate. It has to go through the local jurisdiction to make sure that there are no outstanding expenses. Funeral costs, including a grave marker, etc., and any other debts. There is a need for this product. Don't overlook it. Issue ages are 60 to 89. It is a permanent plan. It is a whole life plan that builds up its own cash value. Again, I'm not going to go into what a cash value is and how that can be used. I'm just going to say right now, for our purposes, cash buildup is in this particular policy. It's not going to go away. The only time that this policy can be taken away once issued is for non-payment of premium. And there's something called a non-forfeiture feature in a whole life plan, of which this is one, where even if your client stops paying premium, whatever cash buildup in there will sustain that policy until it runs out. There's a point of sale jet pre-approval. And if there's anybody out there who has not used this, I urge you to take a look at it, get a kit. And I think Christy has sent out elements of the kits on each of these products. There's a pre-approval steps, pardon me, to take. Review the checklists in the kit, complete the application. There's a phone number to call. It's 877-JET-2759. It's toll free. You select option 1, and you go through that easy process. And your client, in most instances, can find out what he or she can qualify for right then and there at point of sale. Okay? It's a simple yes or no application. Typically, we're running now a cycle time of 2 to 4 days by the time we actually get the policy issued. There are 3 different benefits in most of the states. Again, check the states in which you do business that are available. A level death benefit, a graded or modified, and we'll look at that in just a second. Face amounts are as low as $3,000 up to a high of $35,000. Prescription drug script check. The only thing I would mention to you is look at that agent's field guide carefully. And when you're asking the clients whether or not they take a particular medication, if they do, that's not going to automatically exclude them from the coverage. Follow up and find out what that drug does, why your client's taking this particular drug. Because nowadays, doctors are prescribing a drug for multiple uses. And one of the uses that your client may be using the drug for may not be excluded. So that's important. And again, if you have any doubt at all as to how that coverage that question should be asked and responded to, call us, call Agent Services, and ask to speak to an underwriter. If an applicant is denied coverage, they'll receive a letter with details about an optional process. If the applicant decides to appeal, it must be completed within 21 days. Again, there's a HIPAA form in that kit that you should use. Just look at the checklist, make sure that you do everything on that particular checklist. Here are rather than me reading them, here are the levels of benefits. If your client is healthy, they can get the full benefit immediately. If there are some minor health issues, they can get a graded death benefit. At least they have insurance coverage where they might not ever have been able to get coverage from any other source. And modified, they also have coverage as well to a lesser extent. Okay. Moving along, I want to talk about Home Care Plus. Okay. There is clearly an opportunity for this. And I want to state right at the outset, typically, if your jurisdiction is permitted to sell recovery care, which is a plan I'm going to talk about in just a minute, I recommend that you use recovery care because it's a higher level of coverage. But Home Care Plus is much more forgiving from an underwriting standpoint. There's no telephone interview. but the benefits are going to be paid if they are medically necessary. So a physician has to indicate that any home care element is medically necessary. But we don't want you walking away with no sale because your client can't qualify for other products such as recovery care. If you're able to sell home care, sell that one. Okay? It's important for your clients to consider and plan for the impact that rising healthcare costs for hospital stays and at-home recovery has on their finances. The number of Americans over age 65 is expected to rise from 56 million in 2020 to 84 million in 2050. And 40% of those adults are going to need some kind of daily assistance. So it's important, even those clients who lead a healthy lifestyle may be at risk of experiencing an unexpected health issue that requires the need for therapy and rehabilitation. So whether working or retired, as it states, it's important for your clients to consider this coverage. The market for home care is exploding thanks to baby boomers becoming seniors and the need for lower priced alternatives to institutional care. Your clients should have choices. And we all know Medicare has restrictions and limitations on what it will cover for skilled home care assistance. And as I mentioned at the outset, many, if not most seniors mistakenly believe Medicare covers their entire period at home. Those of us who are in the business know that that's not the case. Out-of-pocket costs can be very expensive, whether they be for accidents or illnesses, and have long recovery time. So it says how to start the conversation. Do you have funds set aside to cover home health care? I would phrase it a little bit differently. If you have an illness and you don't need hospitalization, or you do, and then you're sent home, how do you choose to get your care? Do you want to have to stay in the hospital, and hospitals are not going to keep them there? Or if you're going to get care at home, do you have funds that are going to help you offset the high cost of home health care? Again, going back to the statement, we're making your health plan more comprehensive, whatever coverage they have, MA, MedSup, or even just PDP. Policyholder has the freedom to use the benefits for home care, and there's a daily hospital indemnity component. Again, that should ring a bell for you MA folks. Daily hospital indemnity. That's going to cover or help cover whatever daily co-pays for in-hospital care that your client may need under an MA plan. Now, there are option plan benefits such as a lump sum cancer fixed indemnity rider. Again, this is a plan whereby your client who may not have been able to qualify because of some significant health issues under the cancer and heart attack and stroke, they can at least get a benefit in this Home Care Plus plan. And of course, they also have an optional hospital ER room visit, an ambulance service indemnity rider. Again, red flag for MA policyholders. Cover the ER copay and the ambulance copay. All right, let's just quickly take a look at the home care base benefit. It'll pay a weekly benefit for in-home care by a home care practitioner or qualified staff member of a licensed home health care agency. They don't need to be in any networks. They just need to be properly licensed and qualified. And it must be medically necessary. 3 practitioner visits a week are required. Just if I can mention a personal experience. My mother, who was needed care a few years ago and then was sent home, did not have home health care. She lives in a different part of the country that I do. And bottom line is, after my brother and sister and I argued with her, we told her we are paying for someone to come in to provide home care services after their doctor authorized it, which he did. 3 practitioner visits per week for about 5 weeks gets to be very, very expensive. That's what this plan is designed to cover. Up to $1,200 weekly maximum, your client's choice. They also have a choice of covered weeks, 13 up to 52 weeks, and whatever choice they cover, the lifetime maximum is equal to twice the number of that choice. And they have a choice of waiting period, 0 to 20 days. I urge you to select 0 days because you never know what other coverage it will or will not pay. And again, look at the issue ages. You can use this for under age 65 clients. Daily hospital indemnity benefit up to $300 a day for each day of confinement. I want you to look at the first point. This will pay a benefit whether your policy is an inpatient or they're in the hospital under observation. You know that in MA plans that the in-hospital coverage will only be for inpatient. They have to be designated as an inpatient. And there's a war going on now between Medicare and hospitals and medical practitioners on qualifying someone to be an inpatient. This benefit will pay regardless. So for an MA, if they are an inpatient, and it'll help pay that copay. If they're in the hospital under observation, whereas their MA plan will not pay anything, this hospital will pay. It's a 20-day per period of care, a lifetime max of 365 days, and again, ages 50 through 89. So you can sell this not only to your Medicare clients, but your under age 65. The Home Care Plus has a lump sum cancer fixed indemnity rider. Again, you can use this plan if your client can't qualify for other plans. You have a choice of benefits, and issue ages are down to age 50. There's the ER room visit and ambulance service, the ER visit and ambulance service. $200 benefit available twice per calendar year, no lifetime maximum. Sell it to your under age 65 clients as well. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes now and go over our Hospital Indemnity Flex, which is the new version of Hospital Indemnity. And it offers more flexibility to your clients. Indemnity, by definition, means protection or security against damage or loss. Hospital Indemnity Flex, or I'm going to call it Hip Flex from now on, is designed to do just that, to help protect your savings and your security for the future. This plan can help offset the cost of deductibles, copays, and unexpected or additional expenses. Again, for you MA folks, this is an ideal companion sale to an MA plan. And again, Hospital Indemnity Flex will cover your client if they're in the hospital under observation as well. Benefits are paid directly to your client or a provider that your client designates. And they're paid in addition to any other health care they may have. Let's just take a quick look at it. Those of you who sell MAs, those of you who sell med subs, this is a great plan because, again, your med sub clients still have to utilize definitions under original Medicare in terms of inpatient hospitalization. Hip Flex will cover your client whether they're inpatient or under observation. Anyone concerned with the paying expenses resulting from a hospital stay or outpatient services, such as doc visits, surgery, or rehab, is a prospect for this particular plan. Flexibility. They have the freedom to use the benefits for hospital confinement, skilled care at a nursing facility, doctor's office visits, outpatient surgical procedures, ER visits or ambulance services, there's that term again, costs associated with a cancer diagnosis and an outpatient rehab. Your patient has the choice of whether they have a hospital admission lump sum benefit or a daily hospital indemnity benefit for hospital confinement. Again, both of these options include observation stays. If the observation stay under option 2 is less than 24 hours, we will still pay 50% of the elected benefit. It's available in $10 units. This is the hospital indemnity plan element, and up to $700 daily max. Okay, this is payable once for each new period of care. That's option 2. Option 1 is going to pay a lump sum for hospital confinement, including observation. It's available in $250 units, and it's paid once for each new period of care. Optional benefits, you have a daily skilled nursing facility indemnity. Okay, we all know under an MA plan that if your client was an inpatient, Medicare will pay the first 20 days of the skilled nursing costs, and after that, there is a considerable payment. I'm not sure what it is this year, but I think it's in excess of $160 per day. This plan can offset those costs. Doctor's office visit indemnity. Your client goes and pays a copay every time he or she sees a doctor. And again, if the doctor is not in an MA network, their costs may be greater. Use this option to help pay for that offset. And they get up to 20 doctor visits per calendar year under this particular option. Outpatient surgical procedure indemnity, available in increments of $250, must be medically necessary for the ER room. And of course, if you're in the ER, typically it is medically necessary unless your client's going in just for a checkup. And in that case, the ER most likely won't serve them. It'll pay up to $200 a visit, which will cover the bulk of a hospital, of an ambulance copay or an ER copay. There are other optional benefits, so lump sum cancer. Okay, if your client is not able to qualify medically for the CHAS, look at this. Also look at the Home Care Plus. Benefit amounts available. Outpatient rehab pays a daily amount for treatment of a covered illness or injuries. With outpatient therapy, occupational therapy, physical or speech. Those of you who know your summary of benefits under your MA plans well know that if your client needs occupational therapy, physical or speech therapy, they're going to pay a copay. This will help them pay for that. It's available for 15 or 30 visits based on the option they select, and it's a $50 benefit each time. Okay. Frequently asked questions, what's the period of care? Begins on the first day of confinement in a hospital due to a covered injury, or ends when that policyholder's been out of the hospital or skilled nursing unit and doesn't require any medical care for 60 continuous days. The policy is guaranteed renewable. What does that mean? It can never be taken away from your client once it's issued. The only way they can lose the plan is if they do not pay the premium, if they stop paying the premium. Okay? Benefits are paid either directly to the policyholder or designated as the policyholder so deems. And the last point, premiums will not increase because of age or health. So today is the cheapest your client will ever get this particular policy. Recovery care. We are just about right at the limit. Christy, I'm going to take the liberty of asking that you pass out a recovery care. I'm not certain recovery care is approved yet in Pennsylvania, but certainly Home Care Plus is. So that is a product that we went over. They can review recovery care for jurisdictions other than Pennsylvania in which they sell. And we are working very diligently with Pennsylvania's Department of Insurance to get recovery care approved for sale. Okay, what I'd like to wrap up with are just some brief ideas about selling these products, some prospecting thoughts. Your book of business is your gold mine. Call on your past clients. Call on everybody that you met with and or sold during AEP. They're all leads for you. Now you talk about, well, I don't have this, I don't have leads, or I don't get leads from here. You've made your own leads. You've made the market for these plans by the people that you've sold in the past. Everyone is a lead. For MAs, what I used to do is once I sold an MA plan, I would make periodic calls back to my clients. 10 days after the sale, 30 days after the sale, 90 days after the sale, and 180 days after the sale. I wanted to check, particularly in the earlier calls in 10 and 30 days, if they've received their new card, if they have any questions, if they have a comfort level. Later on, I call and ask, have you used the product? Did you find it easy to use? Do you have any questions? Then I would ask for an appointment to talk about making sure their health plans are more comprehensive. Making sure their plans are as comprehensive as possible. And then ask for referrals again. That's how I built up my book of business, through referrals. And this was year round. Okay? Call them to review their needs. You're their trusted advisor, or you want to become their trusted advisor. And that's a very, very important relationship. Also, the more products that you sell clients, the more persistency you're going to have in all of your product sales. You're showing you care by following up with your clients and helping them create more comprehensiveness in their plans. And you know, there's an old saying that every client feels this way. I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care. Look at your own businesses. Just a quick comment on expanding your Medicare marketing efforts. Don't look only at age 65 age-ins. Look at those first wave of baby boomers, which are now turning or have turned age 70. Nobody's calling on them. Everybody calls on the age-ins. The age 70 plus are looking for people to talk to. They may want to adjust their med-sup coverage. They may never have been approached about any complementary or ancillary products. They are a great market for you. Okay, you want to identify all of your clients' insurable needs and offer viable and affordable solutions. You have the tools with which to do that. If you have any questions, you have a myriad of people to call. You can call our agent services. Here are folks who do what I do. We break our country down in segments. The West with Tony Clark and Kevin Moore, the Midwest with my boss, George Pelicanos, and myself, and the East with Jeff Nasser and Joe Garcia. Interestingly enough, I understand that many, if not most of you are on the line, are in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is my territory. Reach out. If you want me to come and meet with you there, give me a call. Better yet, send me an email, and I will set up a series of appointments, not only with yourself, but look for producers or groups that I can speak with who are in your area. If you have any questions, I suggest that you call Rose Faulkner or Georgia Fletcher or William Davis in your respective regions. They can answer most of your questions. If you need some additional help, or you're not certain about a sales concept or a product, you can call them, or you can call myself or Kevin Moore or Joe Garcia in the East. We are there for you. We are there for you. If you need to order supplies, you can do it on our website, or call Rose, William, or Georgia, and they will be glad to order them for you. We have a program going on now. It started this month. It's going on the entire rest of the year. It's called Extra Dough. Look at it on our website. Again, we're kind of over our time slot now. I was going to go into detail. This is a great way for you to earn extra money. I know I hated to leave money on the table, and it promotes activity. In addition to your commission for every underwritten MedSup, and this is only for MedSup, for every underwritten policy, you're going to get an extra $100. For every open enrollment policy, you're going to get an extra $25. We ran this program in the last 6 months of 2017 and wound up paying almost $1.5 million for the last 6 months, extra money over and above commissions under this program. So please take a look at it. I urge you, if you have any questions, send me an email. I just want to thank all of you for your attention. I know I threw a lot of stuff at you. I'd love to meet with you individually. Christy and I were talking about if there's an opportunity when I'm in Pennsylvania, or for me to come to Pennsylvania, I can do a couple of these or one of them in person. And it's a little bit easier, I think, on both sides to do it in person. But Christy, thank you so much for allowing me to present today. And for you out there in our audience, the producers, thank you so much for your loyalty. Thank you for your business. And we value you. We value you so very, very much. Thanks, guys, and have a great, great day.
Thank you, David. And anybody's free to email me here at URL. Also, we do have supplies on hand here at the office. I can get those mailed out to you immediately. And if you have any questions, also, I can help you. So thanks, David. We appreciate your time today and, taking the time to teach us some new products to sell. Everybody wants to make some more money. So thanks again.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.